Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, issue number 5, the last issue of the series, comes out today. Workout is done, so let's go pick it up. First off, if you're new to my channel, hello, I'm the Queen G22, and you are now in the Lioness Den, where I like to talk about Ninja Turtles, gaming, geek stuff, and travel. So if any of that is your vibe, you're in the right spot. So today, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter issue number 5 comes out today, and it's the last issue in its series. Now don't worry, no spoilers. I'm not going to give it away for those of you that want to read it, but I do want to talk about how the Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter is kind of like the best of both worlds that finally collided in a comic issue series, and it only took like 40 years for it to happen, but that's fine. Better late than never. So we're going to go pick it up and talk about it a little bit. Okay, I don't know what the heck just happened, but I went in to get one comic book, and this is what I came out with. Y'all, do you see this? What the heck, yo? So, you know that I'm a Usagi fan, right? And I have the first volume, and boom, I noticed they had all of them except volume 3. So I went ahead and picked those up. What sparked it was the Last Ronin Lost Years in a book released the other day, and I didn't pick it up, so I have that. And then I saw this mother sucker right here. Now y'all know I am not a huge Leonardo fan, but they're telling me that Diamond, the maker of these things, is starting to release them this week, starting with Leonardo, then it'll be Michelangelo, then Raphael, and as of right now, there's no release date for Donatello. I know, it's dumb. So I ended up getting the Leonardo, but don't worry, I'm not losing my stuff here. I won't do a YouTube video unboxing until I have all 4 of them. I think that will make the most sense, you know, because they're rather simple statues. And then, oh, by the way, this is the issue that I went in for, but this is everything that I came out with. The Last Ronin statue. Now this is cute. This has actually been out for a few months, but I didn't really know that I needed it until today. So yeah, we'll be doing an unboxing video on that sometime this month. So this was a way better day than what I expected it to be. Now let's go home and dive into the Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter series like I had planned to. Also, before we take off, big shout out to A1 Comics, dude. They hooked your girl up. All right, let's go check these out. Okay, so today did not go as planned, but I think today was a better day because of that. Your girl got some reading to do. We're gonna get into that in just a second, but real quick, as always, like our new tradition, if you're new to this channel, I am playing a game with my subscribers. It is called That's What She Said, and it's because I am a huge fan of the show The Office, and so often I'll make comments in my videos and I'll pick it up as that was a pretty good That's What She Said joke, but I don't always pick them all up, and so my viewers and subscribers are welcome to do so. And when you do that, I hope that you will say what it is that I said, timestamp it, and then say That's What She Said. Put it in the comments, and I will pick the best 2 to 3 and give you a shout out in my next video. Now, of course, there were some comments that a lot of people picked up, so you have to be the first person to say it also if it's a really good one. But I have to say, you guys are getting way more creative, and it's freaking awesome, dude. I am loving the That's What She Said. Now, if you are here just to see Street Fighter and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and what I have to say about that, no problem. I put timestamps in the description so you can skip straight to the video. So with that, let's get into the That's What She Said. My first That's What She Said goes to TWSS. Well done, TWSS. So let's take a look at and see what TWSS thought should have been a That's What She Said. I love this rapping, by the way. I feel like this was rapped with love.
That's what she said.
The second one goes to David Barrett 1083. Again, nice job, David Barrett. And let's take a look at and see what David Barrett 1083 thought should have been a That's What She Said. And this shape looks very familiar. And the last one that I kind of also felt was the best one goes to the Cosmic Burrito 2. Now, let's take a look and see what they thought should have been a That's What She Said. So well done, everyone. Again, I could only do like the top 3, but I appreciate everyone for participating.
That's what she said. Michael.
Yeah, so nice job, everyone. Do not use this last comment to use as a That's What She Said, okay? I have to congratulate everyone, and we can't keep saying that as That's What She Said. We get it. Yes, that's what she said. But nice job, everyone. Thank you so much for playing. Now, let's get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter. I just want to say, you guys saw me take this issue, go to the counter, and attempt to pay for it. I did pay for it, and I was literally walking out of the store when one of the employees was like, hold up, yo, Queen, have you seen our Leonardo statue? And I was like, okay, well, first of all, it's Leonardo, but whatever. We'll entertain it and go, take a look at it. It was the Leonardo statue that I saw at the San Diego Comic-Con, and I have been waiting for a release date. So that just blew my mind. So I ended up getting that Leonardo because they promised me that they would alert me when the other 3 brothers come in, because I cannot just have a Leonardo in my house without its brothers. And isn't that interesting that the best Ninja Turtle is saved for last with no release date? All right, I see what you're doing. So I also got this Last Ronin little statue, also by a Diamond Select. So we're gonna do an unboxing on this guy. Now you guys know that I have the massive mega Last Ronin statue by PCS, but I thought that this little guy would be a good addition to my shelf of my Last Ronin stuff. I've got the Last Ronin comics, and I'm waiting for the rest of the mecha figures to come out, so I thought this would be kind of cool to put it in there. But of course, this doesn't compare to the massive PCS statue that I have, but I do think it's very detailed, and it does show Michelangelo in a very vicious and hungry type of way. So we'll do an unboxing on this in a little bit. Okay, so we are here to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter. Now, the reason why I thought that maybe we should talk about this, and like I said, dude, no spoilers unless you want me to. If you want me to, tell me in the comments and I'll take care of it. But I know a lot of you are reading the comics and you don't want to know what happens until you read it, which is fine. So we're not even going to dive into what really goes into it. We're just going to talk about why this series is special. And if you're not reading it, then maybe you'll think about reading it, or you can holler at your girl and maybe I'll do a video on it. I don't know. It's up to you guys. You guys tell me. I felt like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter was just a universe that needed to collide, and I felt like it took really long for this to happen. Dude, a lot of you are probably like me, and we grew up playing Street Fighter. It was one of the arcades that we absolutely had to play with before we left the arcades. And it was one of the top games that we had in our homes that we would share a rivalry with, you know, our family members, our friends. Dude, like Street Fighter, it was just like the ish. I have been a Guile and Chun-Li fan and a Fei Long fan since the Super Nintendo Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I have not changed. So when this series said that they were going to come out, I was really excited. Now, what had happened was I went to my local comic book store, shout out to A1 Comics, asked for them to hold the first issue for me, and what they did was they ended up holding the first issue for me of Street Fighter 6, which is basically a behind the scenes story of the video game that came out. So I said, sure, why not? I'll read it. And you guys, the Street Fighter 6 series is really good. It's really good. So they started me down that wormhole, and then before I knew it, I was researching more Street Fighter comics, and now I am long gone in reading the Street Fighter Origins. This is actually the one on Sagat, and the Origins books are really good because you really get a behind the scenes on each character and how they kind of got into the Street Fighter scene. And what I really enjoyed about this one about Sagat was that we learned his origins and also how he got connected with Bison. So now I'm on a hunt to read all of these Street Fighter origin stories. But meanwhile, I also started reading the old series on Street Fighter, the classic comics. I got a lot of reading to do, but I am so fascinated on the history of these characters that I fell in love with as a child. So you can Google it, Street Fighter Classic, if you want to know more background stories on these characters. They're really good stories. And with that, I'm also trying to catch up on the IDW run of the Ninja Turtles. So I'm never going to be done reading, obviously. I'm so far behind. And the reason why it took me so long to get involved in the IDW is because I decided to reread the Archie comics, collect every issue, including the miniseries, you know, the one-off series, the movie, you know, comics, all that stuff. Because the Archie comics is the one that's most relatable to the cartoons, and the cartoons is what I grew up on. And I just wasn't ready to read a story about the Ninja Turtles that had them in a more mature light. You know, like I like my Ninja Turtles being corny, silly, funny, and dorky, kind of like myself. So it took me a while, but anyways, I'm in it now and I'm enjoying the IDW series. So what is even better than reading one by itself, Ninja Turtles and Street Fighter, is a goddamn series with the two of them together. So we have 5 issues with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter. Now, this is different from like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter. So you already know that there may or may not be some teamwork involved in this series, like Street Fighter. Like these guys are gonna one off and then
That's what she said. Michael.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good one. Dude, I should get my own shout out for that one. You know what? I need a second. Okay, I told you guys, dude, I'm weird and corny and silly, so It is what it is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. Anyways, back to this. The first cover has Guile, Ken, Chun-Li, Yu, right? Is that how you pronounce it? Dude, forever I used to pronounce his name Ryu, and I think I found out later it's actually Yu, but whatever. This guy right here with the white on versus Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Jenica. So you already know some stuff is about to crack off in this series. Dude, and we start off with the first page with Guile catching a fist to the face. So if that doesn't grab you into wanting to read this series, I don't know what is. But I will tell you one thing that I like very much about this series. I mean, dude, look at these covers. Dude, Guile and Raphael, yeah. They are going through some kind of beef. You've got Raphael and Chun-Li on the cover of this one. And then the last issue, Shredder and Bison. I mean, how interesting does this just seem? And I'm really sad that there's only 5 issues in this series. This one's actually really cool because it's got the KO on the bottom. It kind of looks like they're playing the video game. Wouldn't that be cool if we could get a Street Fighter Ninja Turtle game, kind of like in the Street Fighter format? Not the Ninja Turtles, you know, guest appearing in Street Fighter. I'm talking about like a legitimate game, like Tournament Fighter. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. The rivalry in this series, which I really, really like about it, is that as far as the personality goes of each turtle that we're used to, Leo, Donnie, Raph, Mike, and if you don't know what their personalities tend to be, then you really have no business on my channel. But they have the same personalities, and you can kind of see which turtle clashes with which Street Fighter. Another thing that I really like about this series is that if you know any history on Street Fighter and the Ninja Turtles, they do a really good job of mixing their pasts into this series. So like the villains and history of bad guys, or just history of anything that was involved in previous Street Fighter comics is in this comic. So if you're not up to Street Fighter comics, you do learn some things about some stuff that's been going on with these Street Fighter characters. Same with the Ninja Turtles. There's quite a few villains that make a guest appearance in this series, so you can't help but get excited when these characters pop up and you're like, oh snap, here they are. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys. And then on top of it being a pretty good story and not too far off from what we already know about comic series for both Street Fighter and Ninja Turtles, the art itself is just pretty fantastic. I love the detail, I love the design. It just fits, like everything just goes together really, really well. The people involved in putting this series together really nailed it out of the park. So like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Like I said, unless you want me to, then I'll consider it. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that all 5 issues are out, and if you haven't read them, I really think that you should, unless you're not a comic book reader. Holler at me and I might do you know, a video on it, but I really don't think you'll be disappointed with this series. I actually haven't read the last issue yet, but just by looking at the cover and what I know about what happens in the 4th issue, this should be a really, really good finale. I'm curious if any of you have any good recommendations on some good comics to read, please put it in the comments. And also, if you are reading this series, I'd love to know your thoughts on what you think about this series. Did it meet your expectations? Was it everything that you had hoped for? For me, I am very much satisfied so far. I don't know, I haven't read this last issue. Hopefully they won't leave us hanging too much. In fact, I'm gonna get into it now. If you thought this video was entertaining in any kind of way, make sure you hit that like button so other people will get a chance to see it too. And I'll see you guys on my next video.